For a long time, it felt like Cenat wasn't just a streamer, he was a time zone. No matter where you lived or when you opened your phone, there was a good chance Kai was live, yelling at a screen, arguing with chat, or doing something that would be clipped, reposted, memed, and debated within minutes.
Thank you, Kai. Have a good night, Kai. You good? Kai. Yeah, I like yours. Thank you. I like it.
His streams didn't feel scheduled, they felt inevitable. And that's exactly why, when the noise slowly started to fade, people didn't ask if something was wrong. They assumed something was over.
Alright. Twinsky! Chat, this is not my twin, bro. Stop saying this is my twin.
At first, nothing dramatic happened. There was no farewell stream, no emotional speech, no pinned tweet explaining a break. Instead, the change was subtle, almost unnoticeable unless you were paying close attention.
The communities and of streaming in general, and as long as we don't tear each other apart and let that get in between us, we're gonna be just fine. So I appreciate y'all.
Streams became less frequent. The long marathon sessions that fans were used to started appearing less often. When he did go live, the streams sometimes felt shorter, tighter, and more contained. Still entertaining, still Kai, but missing that sense of endlessness that defined his rise. To a casual viewer, this meant nothing. To his core audience, it meant everything. Kai had trained his audience to expect him constantly. Not weekly, not occasionally, but always. That level of consistency creates a powerful illusion that it will never stop. So when small gaps appeared, they stood out more than they should have. One missed stream turned into two. Two turned into a quiet weekend. A quiet weekend turned into fans refreshing Twitch at night, saying that Kai scammed them, took their money and went missing, or stuck in another universe. At first, it was funny. Then, it started feeling strange. What made this break different from past breaks was the lack of explanation. In earlier periods of his career, Kai would usually address absences directly. He would tell his audience if he was tired, busy, or dealing with something behind the scenes.
It's hitting me. My body is tired.
The sleeping thing?
Yes.
This time, there was mostly silence. No clear schedule, no reassurance, no context. And in online culture, silence doesn't stay neutral for long. It gets interpreted. As the days went on, fans began filling the gaps themselves. Some blamed burnout, pointing out how intense his schedule had been for years. Others joked that he had finally escaped Twitch or completed the game. Some were less playful, suggesting that Kai is doing all this because of a breakup, that Gigi made him say that he quit. None of these ideas were confirmed, but they didn't need to be. They spread anyway. At the same time, Kai's presence outside of streaming became more visible. Appearances, collaborations, events, and offline opportunities started stacking up. From a career standpoint, this made perfect sense. Creators at his level often expand beyond one platform.
My name is Kai. I'm currently at Fashion Week in Paris, and I'm excited to just see everything that happens.
But perception doesn't care about logic. To fans who were already noticing his absence, this looked like replacement. Streaming wasn't being paused, it was being substituted. Every time Kai appeared somewhere that wasn't Twitch, someone in the comments would joke that he had retired or that Twitch was now his side quest. And then came the comparison. Fans began comparing the current Kai to the old Kai, the one who streamed through holidays, the one who went live without warning, the one who seemed to live on Twitch. Compared to that version, any reduction felt massive. Even when Kai did stream, the narrative had already shifted. Instead of people saying he's back, they said he came back again, as if each stream was temporary by default. Social media played a huge role in locking this belief in. Clips channels, commentary accounts, and reaction pages started framing his inactivity as a storyline. Titles hinted at endings, thumbnails implied final chapters. People who weren't even regular viewers started hearing the same idea repeated across platforms. Kai quit streaming. Kai is done. Kai moved on. Once something is repeated enough online, it stops sounding like speculation and starts sounding like common knowledge. The fan reactions reflected that shift. Comments went from "where Kai at?" to "he not coming back" to "we had a good run." Some fans joked about it, saying things like "Kai on PTO forever" or "bro clocked out permanently." Others were genuinely frustrated, feeling abandoned without explanation. A few defended him aggressively, reminding everyone that he didn't owe anyone constant access.
I just don't get it, bro. He getting mad for being himself. What the f? People can't even be himself in the Big 26 right now, bro. I quit and become a new Kai. That's what I mean. You feel me? Y'all misunderstand, bro. I quit the old Kai. Facts. That does not mean I quit streaming. He didn't say I quit streaming.
But even those defenses carried an underlying assumption that something had ended. There was also confusion around moments where Kai himself hinted at change. Casual comments made on stream or in passing were taken far more seriously than intended. A joke about being tired, a comment about doing other things, or a vague statement about the future would immediately be clipped and shared as proof that he was quitting. Fans reacted instantly, flooding comments with disbelief, panic, or humor. Some laughed it off, others treated it like an announcement. The idea that Kai might stop streaming was no longer shocking, it was expected. From my perspective, one of the biggest reasons this belief stuck is because predictability disappeared. Streaming is built on habit. Viewers form routines around creators. When those routines break without explanation, trust erodes, even if unintentionally. Kai didn't need to stream every day, but his audience needed to know what to expect. Without that, every absence felt heavier than the last. Another overlooked factor is momentum. When a streamer is consistent, returning is easy. When breaks stack up, returning becomes harder. The longer you're gone, the more pressure there is when you come back. Expectations rise, viewership becomes unpredictable, and suddenly streaming feels less like hanging out and more like an event. That shift alone can change how often someone goes live, which then feeds the belief that they've stepped away. What's interesting is that Kai never truly disappeared. He was still visible, still relevant, still talked about. But visibility without accessibility feels hollow to an audience built on live interaction. For fans, streaming wasn't just content, it was connection. Without it, everything else felt distant. Over time, many viewers stopped checking his channel entirely, not out of anger, but acceptance. They assumed the era was over and moved on quietly. By the time people were confidently saying that Kai had quit streaming, it no longer mattered whether it was true. The narrative had already settled. Every new stream was framed as temporary. Every absence confirmed the belief. There was no neutral interpretation left. And that's the most powerful part of online perception. Once a story is accepted, reality has to work twice as hard to change it. In the end, people think Kai quit streaming not because of one decision, one statement, or one moment, but because of a slow accumulation of silence, inconsistency, shifting priorities, and audience expectation. The belief grew gradually, spread collectively, and locked in permanently for many fans. It wasn't announced, it was assumed. And in the world of streaming, assumption can be louder than any goodbye. Whether Kai truly quit or simply evolved is almost secondary now.
I just want to tell y'all, bro, walk into 2026 the person that you want to be. The person that you want to, turn into and get better at, Like if you... No matter what you want to be, make sure you here with it. I'm not gonna lie, I believe you. I believe in you as much as you should believe in yourself.
What matters is that for a large part of his audience, the version of Kai they knew feels gone. And once people accept that feeling, they stop waiting. That's why the question isn't really whether Kai quit streaming, it's whether the era people fell in love with can ever return the same way it existed before. What do you think about this? Drop your thoughts in the comments, subscribe if you're new, and I'll catch you in the next video. I'm out.